the total three chart uh, on the daily time frame. So yeah, kind of a sloppy chart, but if you guys have been with me since suppose August, since I started providing swing setups and analysis, we were going over this chart, and for those who aren't familiar with what this chart represents, essentially represents the total market cap of the crypto sector, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this essentially measures the total market cap of Bitcoin, I mean, of the altcoin sector. Now, what we were watching for is for the altcoin sector to basically break the previous all-time high at $1.17 trillion market cap. And unfortunately, we tried like multiple times, and then ultimately, what this led to on the final, like we kind of had like a fake out above this point, and then we had this huge sell off, on October 10th, I think. So I'll always remember this day. It's one of the craziest days in, I suppose, crypto history. Um, yeah, and on this day, we basically smashed through. Well, it didn't smash through the support, but the critical level to hold was $1 trillion psychological. And we did bounce off of it at first. Like we did have a nice, I guess, slight recovery after this crash. And then slowly after that, we just started like a slow bleed down below the $1 trillion level. And ultimately, yeah, this just kept bleeding until really the end of the year. And so far, we found support at this. Suppose we can now call this a support level at 800 billion dollars. So what I would be looking at now is for this support to hold. We are holding it so far, and short term, it does look like we've broken the uh, the downtrend. This is only maybe like a dozen days of data. But as long as we hold above 800 billion, I do think there's a great chance of altcoins to recover. Um, so actually, our long positions, the ones that I posted this month, have been going pretty well and are still going pretty well. So I would be, I'll follow the trend until the trend breaks. For now, we are getting some bullishness in the altcoin sector. Um, Let me quickly check my positions. Let me see if I can log into my account here. Okay. See if I can log into the Unix. Well, I'll try to log in later, but yeah. Yeah, so for right now, total three is going up. Let's see if we can retest this $1 trillion level. If we can, then I think we can get up to $1.09 trillion. And then that would be a really solid recovery for the altcoin sector. Now let's take a look at others. Now this one is also a bit interesting because this one is also measurement of the crypto total market cap, but it excludes the top 10. So it only includes um, coins outside the top 10 because top 10 altcoins make up the majority of the crypto market cap. Okay, so we are seeing I guess since the beginning of the year, we are seeing a surge in the others chart. So let's see this. Yeah, about a 20% gain so far in the other charts. That's quite good. Let's see what else we can take a look at. So yeah, for the other chart, I guess the critical line here to hold would be around 245 billion. So if we can retest this level, we can go back into this range and hopefully go back to $335 billion in total market cap for the altcoin sector, excluding the top 10. Okay. Now let's take a look at USDT dominance for those who don't know, when USDT dominance falls, that's bullish for altcoins because that means more money is flowing out of Tether and it's going into uh it's going into altcoins. So that is what we're seeing so far. Yes, pretty much since the start of the year, we are seeing a drop in USDT dominance, and we are seeing a drop below uh, 6 point the 6.44% line. So yeah, this is actually not bad at all. Let's see if I can log into my CoinW. Can't either. Okay, so yeah, bullish so far this year on USD dominance. So as long as it goes down, I mean, it has been going up in the past couple of days, but overall, it looks like we've topped out on USD dominance, so that is a good thing actually. So what else we can take a look at? Oh yeah, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. So it's kind of a sloppy chart. Let me get rid of these lines. Yeah, so Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, it's kind of just very choppy. I don't really have much to say. Um, what I will say is, hold on, let me put my lines back on. Yeah, so these are the levels to watch for Bitcoin dominance. We're basically oscillating between 57.28% and 60%. So I think if we can see. Yeah, basically right in the middle of these two ranges. So if Bitcoin dominance gets above 60.82%, that's just going to mean more strength into Bitcoin going into this year. And if it falls below 57.28%, then that's actually going to be very bullish for altcoins. So it really depends. You like, do you want Bitcoin to go up or altcoins to go up? And this is what this chart is going to determine, really. Yes, I think these are the more of the fundamental metrics uh, I'm looking at. We can look at some on-chain metrics on Bitcoin, but save that for another stream. Right now, what I want to do is go into maybe let's go into the top 20 coins, and yeah, let's just look at what's happening on the weekly chart for these. All right, let me delete this. One second. Okay. Um, so on the weekly, basically oscillating between 107. I mean, it's a big range and 256. So far we are bouncing off of this level. So I would expect Solana. Yeah, I would expect Solana to at least have a bounce back up to the mid range here at 169, 170. Uh, and then maybe it'll push up to 256, which is the previous all-time high on the weekly time frame. Okay, let's take a look at hype. Ooh, hype is not looking good. Hype is still in the downtrend. So what I would need to see from hype is it to essentially go like hold this level at $24, and if it can, we'll go for a retest of $38. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Oh, okay, now Bitcoin Cash looks very bullish here. Um, been in an uptrend since late last year. What I'll say for Bitcoin Cash is if we can take out 687 resistance, I think we have a good chance of this essentially going to maybe actually going back to yeah, I could see this going back to like $1,000 psychological level because I don't really see any other um yeah, I don't see any other resistances in the way here. Let's take a look at Eve. Let me I'm gonna have to redraw all of this. Now, ETH weekly time frame, I'd say we are holding. Let me just delete all these lines. So we are holding the $2,800 level, and to the upside, we do have the $4,800 all-time high level. But the next critical level is right around $4,000, which makes sense, like psychological. So I would expect Ethereum to oscillate between 2,800 and $4,000 to the upside for now, going into going into the year. Link, we already had this drawn out pretty well. Essentially, it's holding the $12 level pretty well as support. Um, and let's see if we can push into the mid range at around $18, and then let's see if we can get up to $26. ADA, see ADA. Let's try to draw this. So ADA is holding the. Let me draw another line here. Yeah, ADA is holding the 32.6 level pretty nicely. If we can get above 62 cents, that would be the next kind of critical level to beat. And then after that, we're looking at $1.21, not all-time high, but the highs that we saw in 2025. But if we can get above $1.21, then next, I mean, this is way far out in advance, but if we can get above $1.21, I could see us going to $2.76. See Toncoin. So we're holding this 140, call it 145 level, right? If we can get above, if we can get above, well, first of all, I think next thing Ton will do is retest the roughly $2.60 level, $2.50. If we can get above that, then we'll go back into this range. Massive like weekly range. So we can get above like 250, 275. We can at least attempt to go to the mid range at 4.5 and then up to 7.5. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, Avalanche. Okay, Avalanche. Avalanche is a kind of a tough chart to read right here, but so far we are holding this uh $12 level. And yeah, AVX is interesting because it's like has like its diagonal trend line going down, and if we can hold this $11 level, I could see us going up to like 30 cents or so. So yeah. Okay, let's go to total trade recovered. H bar. Okay, H bar is holding this, let's call it 11 cent support area. I think as long as it holds here, we'll probably oscillate between this 11 cent support and again massive range, talking about a weekly time frame to around the 29 cent level. So the mid range is going to be around $20. So yeah, let's see if we can get each bar up. Not $20, 20 cents. I mean 20 cents, 20 cents. All right, Bitcoin weekly. I guess we didn't cover this, but actually I'm gonna skip Bitcoin because I gave my analysis on Bitcoin a couple days ago on the weekly time frame. Okay, XRP. Yeah, so XRP looks interesting here. Like we held the support at $1.85, and then we had a massive run up like the last couple of weeks into really the start of the year. And we actually retested the $2.45 level, and then we've been rejected so far. But let's see if this level can hold. Like if anything, XRP will go down to $1.85, and if it can hold there, then uh, yeah, that's the critical level to hold. $1.85 for XRP. And then right now, I do have a long trade posted on XRP, so let's see if we can hopefully get above the $2.46 level, and that'll take us back to $3 psychological. TRX. Let me actually put on my moving average here. Moving average exponential. Let's do 55. Yeah, so TRX is holding the 55 EMA here. As long as it holds, and I did post a swing trade on this that we're still active in. As long as it holds, I would expect TRX to essentially, yeah, keep this uptrend intact because it's been holding the 55 EMA for quite a while. Okay, XLM. Yeah, XLM lost the 55 EMA back in October. Currently holding this level at around 22 cents. If it can hold here, I'd expect to move back to the 55 at around 28 cents. But XLM, it's kind of in a ranging pattern even on the weekly time frame. Okay, Bitcoin market cap dominance recovered. BNB. Oh yeah, let's take a look at BNB. BNB had its massive run up, currently holding the 55 EMA, which is coming in at around $800. So as long as it, yeah, as long as it holds there, I would, yeah, I would be bullish on BNB, perhaps retesting the $1,000 level psychological. Litecoin, messy chart. It's kind of like in a ranging pattern on the weekly, so EMAs here aren't going to work as well, but essentially it's oscillating between probably like $78, $80 and yeah, like $130. So I think the most logical thing is for it to retest $94, and then we'll see from there. Litecoin. Bitcoin already covered. SHIB. Yeah, SHIB looks quite ugly, but we did find support. Whoops. We did find support at 7 cents. Not 7 cents, like point, not seven. Um I did have a nice jump, like 22% in the past week, so I'd expect it to retest the 55 EMA at 0.012 if we hold this 0.007 level. SHIB, okay. What else got? Dogecoin. Yeah, Dogecoin on the weekly. So we had a false break below the support at like 13 cents. And so far we've recovered and now we're retesting this. Sorry, it's more of a yeah, around support at 14 cents on the weekly. So yeah, I'd expect it to uh yeah, I'd expect the support to hold for now. But if it doesn't, then we might see a big drop in Dogecoin. But if it holds the upside, see it retesting the 55 EMA on the weekly, just coming in at around 18, yeah, 18 cents or so. Yes, I think that covers my weekly outlook on most most of the coins. I mean, the top 20 coins. And we covered the fundamentals of total three, Bitcoin dominance, USD dominance, and the other chart. So I wanted to go over my swing positions as well, but I think I'll leave that to for another post, maybe in a couple of days, right, guys? So I'll end it here, and yeah, I think this will be saved as a recording.